All right, so the recording has started. So we go from Unit 1 to Unit 2 to Unit 5. All right. I don't know, Justin. I'll have to look and see why. See what's up. So today we are going to jump into Unit 5. I like Unit 5. All right, I like Unit 5 better than I liked Unit 2. It's about ecology. Ecology. All right. So let's do this. Let's go to, before we even talk about our goals, I want you to tell me what you know about ecology, and you may know nothing. So just pictures, words. Tell me what you know about ecology. Ecology. Words, pictures. Do you have board permissions? Oh. I wonder when. Here you go. Since I can't hear you on your mics, I kind of am hesitating to let you jump on mic. So if you don't mind writing them on the board. Ooh, living ecosystem. Ecosystemology. I like it. I love that what you're doing is doing some dissecting of words, right? I think a lot of you have chopped ecology like that. And you're like, eco. What is an ecosystem? Oh, yeah, Dustin and Justin. I'm guessing you did your reading. I feel like we should have like a show called the Dustin and Justin Show. And they should like prep us all pre-class and tell us what they've learned from their reading, because they're on it. I know, right? The Dustin and Justin show. I might have to make this up. I love it too. Yeah, so non-living and living things living together in the environment. I love this. This is a really good start to our unit. Way to go, guys. Just pop back over here. And I can't hear you, so you'll have to tell me when you're done. But let's have Pip read the first, Ireland read the second, Aria read the third. So Pip, Ireland, Aria, each read one.
Got
I'm going to
it.
be quiet because I can't hear you.
Luckily, you all on the recording can. What is ecology? Thank you.
What is the biosphere and what is contained within the biosphere?
What is an ecosystem?
Good job. Thank you for letting me know you're done. That's great. So again, we're on our triangle. We're going back down to the bottom. We're building from the ground up on ecology. What is it? What is the biosphere? Let's do a little chopping up of that word too. If you'd never seen the word biosphere and you saw it on a test, what could we guess about those two words?
Mommy,
Yes, Rennie.
can I
Can you take a breath? Yes, after class, okay? Everyone said hello to you. Can you say hi? Yes.
I want to take a bath right now.
Oh. Okay. Go watch some Go Dog Go and I'll help you in a little bit. All right, so bio meaning life. Bio meaning life. Good. So we know life is, biology means living. And what do you think the sphere is? Good. What is a sphere? What is a sphere? A container. Space. Circle like a globe. Good. So that kind of would be a good idea to like help us hone in on what that would be. Good. Anyone know what an ecosystem is? We kind of hit that already, I guess. We don't need to do that again. Never mind. Mrs. Rittenhouse with her Monday brain. All right.
Well, it's
So
actually a
every
Tuesday.
living thing is part of Earth's biosphere. Okay, so I want you to think of the biosphere as the Earth, right? Bio, you were perfectly right in saying bio is living and the sphere is the globe. So every living thing is a part of the biosphere. All right. So this is the largest level of organization. What does that mean is if we were going to sort and organize something, you're going to start with the biggest compartment. Okay. So if I was going to organize my silverware drawer, everything in the silverware drawer would be the biosphere. Does that make sense? So we're going to organize life. So today we're also going to organize my silverware drawer as we go. All right. Does that make sense? So we're going to talk about how we organize living things into categories. And that first category is the biosphere. It's everything. Everything that's living on Earth is in the biosphere. Okay, just like everything that is in my silverware drawer is not even all silverware. I've got medicine cups, I've got straws. Okay. If it's in the drawer, if it's a living thing and it's in the drawer, it's on the Earth, it's in that level. All right. So each level is influenced by interactions of components in the levels above it. All right. So we have commonalities with the things that we come from, right? That's what it is. It's explaining relationship. So up here is our biosphere. I like this diagram almost the best. Okay. Within the biosphere, we have the biome. So in my silverware drawer, I have a white container. Milo, you want to grab the white container for our silverware? And out of the silverware drawer, we're going to just make this super visual today. Go to the silverware drawer and get the big, right there. Open it up and get the big white thing in there with holding all the silverware. Yep, and pop it out. We're getting real. We're getting real around here. All right, so the biosphere is the drawer. I don't really want to attempt taking the whole drawer out of my cabinet. But this is the insert that I have within my drawer. You guys don't make fun of my organization level. Okay, you're not allowed to make fun of me. Being completely transparent here. All right, so this is going to represent the whole white thing in general is going to represent the biome. Okay? A biome is an area of the biosphere. Okay? Well, Ren, are you showing them the straw? You want to hold it up here because that's where the camera is. All right? You can see in our drawer then, all right, within my biome, I'm going to say these are ecosystems. All right? Can you kind of see in there? I'm trying to move my camera. All right? So the biosphere is my silverware drawer. This container is the biome. And then inside the biome, there are different containers, like for my spoons. See if I can get this in here. This is kind of hard. Let me try to do this. All right, can you see in this one right here is the forks? Can you see the forks? All right, so the forks, you have inside the ecosystem, you're going to have communities, right? Because inside of the ecosystem, you've got the big forks and you've got the little forks, right? And they each have their own little compartment. See that? So the biosphere, it's the greater whole. That is Mrs. Rittenhouse's or your silverware drawer. Inside your silverware drawer, you might have an insert like I do. In each one of these bigger compartments, forks, spoon, butter knives. Up here at the top, I've got all these miscellaneous thermometers and straws and kids' knives, right? And then over here to the right, I've got some like little baby spatulas, a random fork. All right, so those are going to represent the ecosystems. There's lots of different ecosystems within biomes. And then even within, just like the forks, even within our ecosystems, we have smaller groups, like our big forks, called the community. All right. Now, I can't break my silverware drawer much more down into it. But actually, yes, I can. All right. So look, this is my stack of big forks. I'm going to take them out. You ready? I'm going to take my big forks out. So I took my big forks out. This is my community. Inside of my big fork community, I have different types of forks. Right, so these are our original forks that are like our normal eating forks. But then my kids started using 2 forks to like eat their food. Like they needed a fork for their mac and cheese and they needed like a fork for their meat because they couldn't have a dirty fork with mac and cheese on it and eat their meat with it. I know this is high maintenance. All right. So we started running out of forks. So I pulled these forks out. See how they're a little bit different in shape? These are my fancier, like China forks. I know. How could they, Aria? How ridiculous. All right, so these are my China forks. So we pulled the China forks out of the nice silverware container and put them in our normal drawer with our regular everyday because we were running out of forks. All right, so these would represent the different types of forks would represent different populations. Does that make sense? So like this is a population of fork and here's another population of fork. And then we could take it all the way. So we could sort all the forks by, looks like we only have one fancy fork, big fork in here. So these would represent the populations, right? We have the fancy fork population and the flat everyday fork population. And then you could bring it down, scale it down even more to the individual where it's just one, right? This is the individual. It's part of the flat fork population, which could go inside of the community of flat forks and with that are within the drawer. All right. Which is that community is within the ecosystem of the tray, which goes into the drawer, which is the biome, which is inside of my house, inside my kitchen, which is the biosphere. Does that make sense? Does that help? So these words, individual, population, community, ecosystem, biosphere, biome, they are all just ways of organization, relating them to the whole. Like they're all a part of my silverware drawer inside of my house. Perfect.
Mommy.
Perfect.
Mommy.
Does anyone else have another good example? What are some other methods that you use of organizing things maybe in your house or in your life? Oh, perfect. A Lego bin. All right. Pip, can you explain to us how you organize your Lego bin?
Can. So,
Pip's going to take us to her Lego bin.
where is it? Has to be around here.
And you're going to let me know when you're done because I can't hear you. So maybe someone can be your steno and type a little bit of what she's saying so I can hear you. Good. So we could organize Pip's Lego bin by the size of Legos. What else? Put in chat. What else? How else could we organize Pip's Legos? Color. Good. How else? Size and shape. What about, like, don't you have certain Legos for certain kits? Ooh, I like that, Dustin. Don't you have different kits so you could organize them by kits? And then inside each kit, you could have the red pieces, the blue pieces, or the sizes, right? Awesome. Thank you, Pip, for sharing. Anybody else have something in their life you can share with us via video, or you don't have to? You can just explain it in chat. Oh, yeah. Good. I like that, Jesse. So you're like, if you're, do you say gather like metals to like recycle or melt down? Yes. So scrap metals. Yeah, absolutely. You're going to have what? You keep them somewhere. If I don't like keep them in my garage or my basement or storage room, right? And so that storage room itself would be the biosphere. Good, Ava. Bins in her pantry, right? Okay, so you've got canisters for maybe your flour, your sugar, your sweets, your chips. Good, your pencil pouch, Faith. I love it. Your vanity sets. Oh, that's awesome, Jesse. All of those things, all right, I want you to think those ways because those things are familiar to you. So think those ways, and that is exactly what we're doing in this unit with living things. All right, we're putting them into categories of things that get more and more and more specific. Okay, starting with the biosphere and going down. You guys are on it today. All right, so an ecosystem. The Dustin and Justin show talked about this pre-class. All right. Oh, sorry. Somebody talking and I can't hear it.
No, I think Ireland just wanted to show her
Ireland, you
as
have
an
something to
example.
show? You can show. I'd love that. I missed it.
I don't think she's
Oh,
on
show
my
us your
view.
bookshelf.
I don't
I
think
think
she's
that's
on my view, so
perfect.
she may have to
That's a
turn on her
great
mic and off
example.
again.
So I don't know.
You're muted, Ireland.
Just caught that. I don't know if everything is like perfectly divided, but like, hold on, this is gonna be hard. Basically, I keep like signs and like candles, odds and ends over there. I divide journals up top over here, and then like reading books down lower and stuff. So yeah, and then I have like trophies from reading stuff that I've done. Yeah.
That was amazing. I couldn't even hear you, and that was amazing, but I could see what you were doing. And that was fantastic. What? I'm so impressed. So impressed. Thank you so much for sharing. Oh, and Ren wants to share her beautiful flowers. Are flowers biotic or abiotic? They are living. So they are biotic. You drew something living. Can you go draw me something else biotic? Something else that is a living, alive? Okay, she's going to go do that. Hey, you guys, I am just so impressed by your examples today. Thank you so much for doing that, Aria, Ireland. I knew the difference. I promise. I know. Aria's giving all kinds of love to you, Ren, about your flowers. Awesome. So this just takes us back to where we started in biology, biotic versus abiotic, right? So biotic, we talked about, we know means living. So we can always attach that. What does this A mean in front of the word biotic? What does that tell us? Anytime we see that A. Yes, 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 yes. Everybody type it, even though other people have typed it before you. It's okay. I want everybody to type no or not. A means like it isn't. All right, not living. All right, so those are things that are still in our environment, but they are, and they matter. All right, and they are a part of that. Oh, another flower. All right, Ren, can you draw something that's not living? A picture of something that's not alive. Like a balloon or an apple off a tree. You like to draw apples, right? Go draw something that's abiotic. All right, so it is super important to have those abiotic components. And we talked about that, right? At the beginning of the year, how those abiotic factors are a part of what give us life. And we need those biotic or those abiotic factors. Oh, I like that, Aria. So Aria says, I always think of biotic means living, and they're each one word. And the extra letter in abiotic is the same as the extra letters. That's great. Oh, did you draw a balloon? Oh, and Ren drew us a balloon. And that's her abiotic. Abiotic. Can you say abiotic with everyone else?
Abiotic.
Say abiotic.
Biotic.
There you go. Abiotic. Okay, go draw me something else that is abiotic, that is not alive. Whoop, you all right? Tripped on a pillow. Abiotic. Good. So we need both. We need both of those things, and we need things in balance. If I could teach you one thing in science, it is that everything is necessary and needed in what? All things are good for the most part in MOD. MODER. Yes, moderation. Everything is good in moderation, right?
Mommy.
So Ren drew us an apple.
An apple.
Ren drew us an apple, and this is a good quiz. This apple, is it abiotic or biotic?
Biotic.
What do you think? An apple. Right. So it was abiotic if it's in a bowl, right? Because it's no longer living. But if it's attached to a tree and it's still growing and ripening and whatever else, then it is biotic, right? Because it's still alive. But when you want to attach it from its food sources, it is not. Oh, what is that, Ren? Huh? I love it, but I don't know what it is.
It's a water fountain.
A water fountain. Is a water fountain biotic or abiotic? A water fountain. Abiotic. Ren, can you say abiotic?
Abiotic.
Abiotic. Good job.
Abiotic.
All right, I want you to go color something really beautiful and take your time. All right. So an ecosystem is made up of both. All right. Ecosystems are defined areas, right? So there's specific space. And everything that's alive and not alive in that space is a part of our ecosystem. And last unit, we learned that our ecosystems can do what? Over time. Change. Good. Evolve. So tell me one way that our ecosystem can change what are abiotic factors that can make an ecosystem change? What are abiotic factors? Ooh, temperature. Good.
Mommy, looks like umbrella.
An umbrella or a popsicle. A popsicle. Good. That is beautiful. I love it. That's abiotic. A popsicle is abiotic.
See, and it looks like a
Good.
waterfall.
What about Ren's water fountain? What about Ren's water fountain? Yeah. Did you know that? So, like, even our human, structures, buildings. So, when we come into an area and we start inhabiting it, right? Light pollution. Did you know light pollution actually mess up the migration of sea turtles? Because they lay their eggs based on where the sun is and the moon is in the sky. And so if you've ever stayed on the beach somewhere where it's during turtle season, they'll ask you to turn off your balcony lights because that light pollution actually will mess up the ecosystem and how the sea turtles, where they lay their eggs. So a sea turtle will lay its egg in the very spot it was born. Did you know that? So the sea turtles on the East Coast will they will hatch. Okay, I'm going to show them 1 minute. Okay, I'm going to tell them about a sea turtle. Listen to this story. A sea turtle is born on a beach. All right, and then it waddles its way to the ocean, and then it hangs out in the ocean until it's full size, and then guess where it goes? Some of our eastern shore sea turtles. They go to South Africa. They swim clear across the Atlantic Ocean to South Africa. And they live there for most of their life until they're ready to reproduce. And then they swim clear back across the Atlantic Ocean. And they go to the exact beach, exact quadrants to where they were born. And that is where they lay their eggs. Yeah, similar to salmon, Dustin. Seriously, it is the coolest thing. But in that ecosystem, abiotic factors like humans and like Ren's fountain, when things are built or created or lights are left on, it does mess up the ecosystem in the area. Who raise your hand if you have seen the whales, all the whales that have been dying on the East Coast. Ginormous whales, humpback whales are being beached. Have you been seeing that? Let me give you a poll. Give me a green check if you've seen that. What have they found? Like 9 whales? Check it out. Google it if you haven't seen it today. It is crazy. They don't know why. They don't know if it's something in the water. There have been people strategizing that there are wind farms off the East Coast, and that the whales can sense that. Oh, I love it, Ren. What did you draw us? Another blue flower.
Fat.
What?
You said fat.
I know. I tripped on my words. Can you say, is a flower biotic? Is it a living thing, Ren, or an abiotic? Which one? It's biotic. It's living. All right, go draw some more beauties. So yes, all of these things in our ecosystem can change over time. Some of those things are going to be living changes, like the introduction of a new species or a mutation that creates a change. And some of those, ooh, Dustin, I love it. It's abiotic if you pick the flower. You're so right. Right? So those factors can change our communities. This is an example of carrying capacity. Everybody type that in chat. You're right, Dustin. Carrying capacity. Everybody type carrying capacity. Every time you think of carrying capacity, I want you to think of this fishbowl. Ooh, yeah. Well, it depends. If you pulled up the root system, like, so sometimes I'll, in the spring or fall, when my flowers grow too big in the ground outside, I'll do what you like call split them. Right? So I'll cut through their roots into the ground and pick them up and then move them. Replant them. Yes, like a packed elevator. All right, so our ecosystem, this certain allotted amount of space of, sorry, I could tell I was going to sneeze. All right. Thank you. All right, our ecosystem can only support so many living things. If there are too many, there is not enough resource for them. All right. So what resource did we run out of here in this ecosystem? Thank you, everyone. The bowl size, right? We ran out of space. What else did we run out of? Water. All right. The water, the oxygen that they use is in the water. So they also ran out of the oxygen. I'm guessing they aren't going to, like, if you sprinkled a little fish food on the top of that bowl, I'm guessing they aren't going to get fed well, right? Good. So there needs to be a balance between the abiotic resources and the biotic components in the space in the ecosystem. What happens is when this is representing carrying capacity. If this line right here is like, this is the max amount of species that the ecosystem can healthily support. All right. When this line, which is the number of animals, gives above what the ecosystem can handle, you're going to see it comes back down. All right. Because what happens is species are going to die off because there are not enough resources for the animals in that ecosystem. All right. Does that make sense? It's just like if you tried to pack too many people into a hotel room. There's not going to be enough space. There's not going to be enough beds. There's not going to be enough room to brush your teeth, right? Yeah. You're going to find an exit. Oh, I love that, Ren. Is that an umbrella? Yeah?
No,
What is it?
It's my popsicle.
Oh, another popsicle.
No, I cut it out.
And she cut it out because she's so good. Good. All right, let's see here. We're getting close to the end of class. I don't want to cut us too close. Clicky click. All right, so these are populations. This is what we call exponential growth. So if there are extra resources and there's extra food and extra space and extra things, guess what's going to happen? Yep, just like in math. It's going to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. All right. However, at some point, our resources are going to cap off. So this is the graph that represents our carrying capacity, right? Over time, it's going to grow and grow and grow and grow until it can't grow anymore, and then it's going to level off. And this leveling off is what we can identify as the carrying capacity. How do we determine what the carrying capacity is? Well, it's depending all about those abiotic factors and those biotic factors. Is there food? Is there water? How many predators are in that area?
Mommy, here's my flower.
Oh, you're doing such a good job cutting. Thank you. All right. Does that make sense?
Put them in,
Exponential is going to be quick growth over time. Yep.
put them in a pile.
And then our carrying capacity is when our ecosystem is going to be like, whoa, 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 whoa. I only got room for so many of you. All right. Let's back it down. Let's back it down. Good. So this is our exponential growth. This is our logical growth, where our population is going to grow slowly over time and then level off. This might happen if there was like a fertilizer applied or something unnatural, and then all of a sudden there was a plethora of resources, and that like also resulted in a sudden growth of a species in that population. What? We did it. We got to the end. We are out of time. All right. This is going to be your quiz question. So what I'm going to do as we leave
I turned my
is I want you.
balloon into an umbrella.
Oh, thank you. I love that umbrella.
Umbrella.
Umbrella. All right. I'm going to leave these up. And if you have a question about one of these as you leave, you may throw that out to me in chat. Remember, you have multiple attempts, so don't stress about that. Do we feel like we know about, oh, that's not the right slide. Let's get rid of this. I guess I'm using an old one. Ecosystem, do you feel like you know what it is? Good. Some of you put in chat what an ecosystem is. Do you know what, let's say, how an ecosystem is organized? Yes. Wonderful. All right. And make sure that as you leave today, we are going to take the quiz, but I want you to do something on your own to level up, right? I gave you that flashcard link. I gave you the 4 corners. Some of you are going to read. Some are going to come back and watch the recording. Who's been doing those visual notes? Has anyone tried the visual notes? Has anyone looked at that resource?
Mom?
Yeah, check out that resource. It's a really good one.
Mom, and this goes in the little pile.
Oh, good.
Okay.
That goes in the biotic pile.
And this goes in the
Good job. And that goes in the abiotic. Awesome. Well, I'm going to leave these out. I know you have another class to run off to. It is so good to see you all. I always miss you over the weekend. Let me know if you have questions. I'm here for you. If not, I will see you. Bye, Eva. I will see you tomorrow morning, 8:30. Have a great day, guys. Happy Monday.